Hey guys, I just want to have you guys practice some substitution problems really quick. We talked about them the other day and they are a little tricky. So let's go through a few of these. If you want, you can go ahead and pause me right now, try them on your own, and then you can play and see how you did. Okay, so go ahead and pause me, give them a try, and then see if you got the right answer. Hey, welcome back. So on this one right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this equation y equals 3x minus 4, and I'm going and the equation y equals negative 2x plus 1. And I'm going to solve that equation for x and y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 3x minus 4, and I'm going to substitute it in for this y right here. And so what I have now is I have, instead of the blue y, I'm going to replace it with 3x minus 4. And then the other part of the equation is still negative 2x plus 1. Okay? Now, I'm going to solve for x. I have variables on both sides. So when I have variables on both sides, I attack the weaker variable. Now, in this case, the weaker variable is negative 2x. So I'm going to add 2x's to both sides. I'm going to add 2x's to both sides. 3x plus 2x is 5x. So this is 5x minus 4 equals, those cancel out, 1. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a positive 4 to both sides. I'm going to add a positive 4 to both sides. So when I do that, I get 5x on this side equals 1 plus 4 is 5. So then I divide both sides by 5, and I get x equals 1. Okay? So how do you think of that? Now, once you know that x equals 1, what you can do is you can take that 1 and you could put it either into the blue equation or the red equation. I think I'll put it into the blue equation. It doesn't really matter. So instead of an x, I'm going to replace the x with 1. So I have y equals negative 2. Instead of an x, I'm going to put that 1 that I solved for. So I'm going to put a 1 in for the x plus 1. So now I get y equals negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus 1. And negative 2 plus 1, let's go ahead and do our chart if we need to. 2 is negative, 1 is positive. We subtract. 2 minus 1 equals 1, but the negative wins. So we're going to put that negative out in front. So now I know that y equals negative 1. Okay, so my solution is equal to 1 comma negative 1. And that's how we do number 1. Okay? All right. So hopefully you got that. Let's go ahead and have you do the second one. This one, your job is to go ahead and solve this one for x and y. Go ahead and pause me. Hey, welcome back. So now what I want, same exact thing. Now I'm just going to take this part of the red equation and I'm going to put it in for this part right here into the blue equation. So now I have 2x plus 5 equals 6x plus 1. Now, again, I have variables on both sides, so I'm going to subtract 2x's from both sides. I always like to attack the weaker variable, okay? And then after that, I'm going to get 5 equals 6x minus 2x is 4x. So I get 4x plus 1, okay? Now, after that, I'm going to subtract a 1 from both sides. So I'm going to subtract a 1 from both sides. Have a student coming in to get her volleyball here. And then those cancel out. And then I get 5 minus 1 is 4. So I get 4 equals 4x. And then I'm just going to divide both sides by 4. Both sides by 4. And I get x equals 1. Okay? Now, once I know that x equals 1, I can put it into either one of these equations. I'm going to put it into this x right here in this blue equation. So now I have y equals 6 times 1 plus 1. And then all I do is say 6 times 1 is 6. So y equals 6 plus 1. And I think we all know that 6 plus 1 is 7, right? And so we get y equals 7. So my solution is 1 comma 7. And I'm done. Okay, let's give the next one a try. Now, this next one is a little more tricky, all right? It says x equals y plus 7 and y equals 8 plus 2x. Do you think you can do it? All right, give it a pause and see how you do. Hey, welcome back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this y plus 7 and we're going to substitute it in for the x right here. So I'm going to take this y plus 7 and I'm going to put it into this x right here. So now I get, instead of having a y, I'm going to have y, the blue y, is equal to 8 plus 2 times, instead of an x, I'm going to replace it with a y plus 7. Now, once I do that, I'm going to do distributive property, and I'm going to take the 2 times the y, and I'm going to take the 2 times the 7. So now I get y equals 8 plus 2y plus 14, because 2 times 7 is 14. Now, I've got to combine some like terms on this side. I'm going to take 8 and add 14. Well, what's 8 plus 14? Well, I think 8 plus 14 is 22. So I have 2y plus 22. Now, there's a couple things I could do here. I could attack the weaker variable. If you don't want to get a 0, if you're worried about getting a 0 over here, we could just subtract 2y from both sides. That's fine. We could subtract 2y from both sides. 1y minus 2y is negative 1y, equals, those cancel out, equals positive 22. Now, but what we have to do is we have to divide by negative 1. We have to divide by negative 1 to solve our final answer there. So y is going to equal, what's 22 divided by negative 1? 22 divided by negative 1 is negative 22. So we just figured out that y equals negative 22. Now, once we know that y equals negative 22, we can put it in for up here. We could take this and we could put it in for this y right here, because we now know that y equals negative 22. And now we have to figure out what x equals. So x equals y, which we now know is negative 22 plus 7. And I just put it in parentheses just because I wanted to show that negative is with the 22. All right, and I'm going to do a little chart over here. I have my negative chart. I have my positive chart. 22 is negative and 7 is positive. When they're on different sides of the chart, I subtract. Well, let's see, what's 22 minus 7? Well, 7 can't take 7 from 2, so we'll make that a 1. Now, what's 12 minus 7? I believe 12 minus 7 is 5. And so we'll put a 5 right here, and then 1 minus 0 is 1. So now we have 15. But remember, the negative was bigger, so that negative needs to be on my answer right here. So I get x equals negative 15. And so my answer is, my solution, all right, solution here. My solution is negative 15 for x and negative 22 for y. Okay? All right. Go ahead and give these a try, and then I'll give you the bonus question. Okay, here we go. So after this, I'll give you the bonus question. All right, same thing here, except now we have y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2, and we have a fraction here. So this one's a little more challenging. So if you're scared of the fraction, you can either pause me and try it on your own, or you can just watch how I do it. So now I know that y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this negative 1/3 x plus 2, and I'm going to put it in for this y right here in the red equation, because it's already solved for y in the blue equation. And remember, I want to put parentheses around that. Okay, so now I'm just going to copy down the 4x plus the 9 times the negative 1/3 x plus 2. Okay? And that is equals 24. All right? So all I did is replace this y right here with negative 1/3 x plus 2. Now, what I need to do now is I need to do distributive property. I need to take the 9 and multiply it times the negative 1/3 x, and I need to take the 9 and multiply it times the 2. So now I have 4x plus, let's see here, 9 over 1 times negative 1 over 3x plus 9 times 2. I took the 9 and I multiplied it times both things in the parentheses, and that equals 24 still. All right, so let's do the math here. I'm going to copy down the 4x. I can multiply straight across. 9 times negative 1 is negative 9. 1 times 3 is 3. So I get negative 9 over 3x plus 9 times 2 is 18. And that still is equal to 24. Okay? You guys doing okay on this so far? This one's a little challenging, but it's not too bad. We can do it. We're okay. Now, if you notice here, something really nice happens. Negative 9 divided by 3. I can actually do that. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. So I actually can do this. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. So now I get 4x plus negative 3x plus 18 equals 24. Okay? Now, what's 4x plus negative 3x? Well, 4x plus negative 3x is the same as 4x minus 3x, and that just gives me x, or 1x. So we'll just call that x, 1x. 4 minus 3 is 1, 1x. Plus 18 equals 24. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. I'm going to take 18 and I'm going to subtract that from both sides. You guys doing okay with me on this? All right. So let me come up here. So I get x equals, well, what's 24 minus 18? Well, let's see here. 24 minus 18. Let's see here. I think that's 6. So that gives me positive 6. So x equals positive 6. Now, once I know that x equals positive 6, I can put that equation into any one I want. I'm going to put it in right here. Even though it's a fraction, it's not going to be a hard fraction. I'm going to put the positive 6 right there for x. So now I get y equals negative 1/3. Instead of an x, I'm going to put in a 6, and I'll call it 6 over 1 plus 2. And then now I'm just going to multiply straight across. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. 3 times 1 is 3 plus the 2. So y equals negative 6 over 3 plus 2. Now, a negative divided by a positive is a negative. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 3. And then I still have the plus 2. Well, what's negative 3? What's negative 3 plus 2? Well, oh, my bad. Negative 6 divided by 3. That's not negative 3. Mr. Roden, that's bad. I almost made a mistake there. That's negative 2. 3 goes into 6 2 times, not 3 times, right? And then what's negative 2 plus 2? Well, that's going to be 0. That's going to be 0. So now I get y equals 0. And so now I have a solution. My solution is going to be 6, 0. Okay? So the last thing I want you to do, you're going to write all these notes down and you're going to hand them in to me, and you're going to get full credit for just writing this stuff down and practicing your substitution. But there is a bonus question. What is the bonus question? How many pets do you own? And what are the names? What are the pets and what are their names? So on this bonus question on number 5, you need to tell me how many pets total you own. And all the pets, you need to tell me what kinds of pets they are: turtles, dogs, cats, whatever. And then you need to tell me the names of each one of them. Okay? So that's your bonus question. That's how you'll get complete points. And that's how I know you'll have watched the entire video, because you'll have heard me ask you, how many pets do you own? What kind of pets are they? And what are their names? Okay. All right. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you later. Turn this in when you are done. Bye.